Emma Wilson stood at the cold, damp bus stop in Manchester, her thin winter coat barely protecting her from the chilly morning wind. At 32, life had not been kind to her. The textile factory where she had worked for the past decade had recently closed, leaving her with no steady income and a mountain of responsibilities. Her daughter Lucy, just 7 years old, waited beside her, wearing a second-hand school uniform that was slightly too big. Emma checked her wallet, knowing exactly how much money remained, not enough to cover their rent, electricity, and food for the coming week. The morning was gray, much like Emma's current situation. Unemployment had hit her hard. She had always been a dedicated worker, arriving early and leaving late, yet the factory's sudden closure had swept away her job without warning. Single motherhood was challenging enough, but now she faced the terrifying prospect of potentially losing their small apartment. Lucy looked up at her mother, sensing the tension. "Mom, are we going to be okay?" she asked innocently. Emma forced a smile, her heart breaking inside. She didn't want her daughter to worry, but the truth was, she was terrified. Every job application seemed like a mountain to climb. Her limited education and lack of modern computer skills made finding new employment incredibly difficult. The local job center had been less than helpful, providing generic advice that felt more like empty words than genuine support. Emma remembered her own mother's struggles, a woman who had worked multiple jobs to support their family. She had hoped her life would be different, more stable. But here she was, facing similar challenges, determined to provide a better life for Lucy. The bus arrived, its doors opening with a hydraulic hiss. Emma helped Lucy board, carefully counting their remaining coins for the fare. She watched her daughter find a seat, her small frame looking vulnerable in the crowded morning commute. At the community center later that day, Emma saw a poster advertising free job training programs. Her initial reaction was hesitation. She had never been good with technology, and the thought of returning to learning felt intimidating. But the image of Lucy's hopeful face pushed her towards considering the opportunity. Her hands trembled slightly as she took the application form. Years of factory work had made her hands strong but not skilled in modern workplace requirements. Typing, computer skills, and digital communication were foreign concepts to her. That evening, sitting at their small kitchen table, Emma began filling out the application. Lucy sat nearby, doing her homework, occasionally glancing at her mother with a mixture of curiosity and support. "Do you want to learn computers too, Lucy?" Emma asked, trying to sound cheerful. Her daughter nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, Mum. We can learn together." Those words sparked something in Emma, a tiny flame of hope. Perhaps this could be more than just a job search. This could be an opportunity for both of them to grow, to learn, to change their circumstances. The electricity bill sat nearby, a constant reminder of their financial pressure. Emma knew she had limited time to make something work. Every day without income was another step closer to potential crisis. She thought about her support network, which was almost non-existent. No close family, few friends, and a community that seemed indifferent to her struggles. But Emma was not the type to give up. She had survived worse, and she would survive this too. As night fell and Lucy slept peacefully in their small bedroom, Emma continued researching the job training program. Her determination grew with each passing moment. She was not just searching for a job, she was fighting for a future. The room was quiet except for Lucy's soft breathing and the distant sounds of Manchester's evening. Emma's reflection in the window looked tired but resolute. Tomorrow would be another day of challenges, another opportunity to change their lives. Her story was just beginning, and despite the overwhelming odds, hope remained her most powerful companion. The community center's computer room felt overwhelming to Emma. Rows of sleek machines hummed with technological complexity, making her feel small and inadequate. Young participants around her typed effortlessly, their fingers dancing across keyboards with a confidence she could only dream of possessing. Her first day of job training seemed like a massive mountain to climb. The instructor, Michael, explained basic computer skills, but technical terms like mouse clicks, desktop icons, and browser windows sounded like a foreign language to her. Emma's hands trembled when she first touched the keyboard. Her fingers, strong from years of factory work, felt clumsy and uncoordinated. While others quickly navigated websites and created documents, she struggled to even move the mouse cursor accurately. Lucy had encouraged her that morning. "You can do this, Mom," she had said, helping Emma pack her lunch and giving her a handmade good luck charm, a small drawing of them together. The other participants were a mix of ages and backgrounds. Some were younger university graduates, others were middle-aged workers like herself, seeking to upgrade their skills. Emma felt out of place, constantly worried about making mistakes. Michael noticed her struggle. Instead of criticizing, he approached her with patience. "Everyone learns differently," he explained, pulling up a chair beside her. He showed her how to hold the mouse more comfortably, demonstrating slow, deliberate movements. Emma's first document took her nearly an hour to create. A simple text file with her name and contact details became a personal victory. Her hands were sweating, her back tense with concentration, but she had completed the task. During lunch break, she sat quietly, observing others chatting and sharing their progress. Some participants seemed to make connections easily, forming small groups and sharing tips. Emma felt isolated, her self-confidence wearing thin. The afternoon sessions focused on email communication and basic internet research. Concepts that seemed simple to others felt like complex puzzles to Emma. She wrote down every instruction, her notebook filling with scribbled notes and diagrams. One particularly challenging moment came when she was asked to attach a document to an email. Her heart raced as she tried to understand the instructor's rapid instructions. Other participants completed the task in seconds, while Emma sat frozen, feeling embarrassed. Lucy's words echoed in her mind, "You can do this, Mom." Those simple words became her silent mantra, helping her push through moments of frustration and self-doubt. Michael noticed her struggling and provided one-on-one guidance. He broke down each step into smaller, manageable actions. "Don't worry about speed," he told her. "Focus on understanding." By the end of the day, Emma had managed to create a basic email account and send a message to herself. It wasn't much, but for her, it felt like climbing a mountain. Her journey wasn't just about learning computer skills. It was about rebuilding her confidence, challenging her own limitations, and showing Lucy that it's never too late to learn something new. The bus ride home was different. Instead of feeling defeated, she felt a small spark of hope. Her fingers, which had felt so clumsy earlier, now seemed to remember the movements she had learned. Lucy greeted her with excitement. "How was your day, Mom?" she asked, eager to hear about her mother's adventures in the computer room. Emma shared her small victories, creating an email, moving the mouse correctly, understanding a few technical terms. Lucy listened with admiration, her eyes bright with pride. That night, Emma practiced her new skills at home. Her old laptop, inherited from a friend, became her learning platform. Slowly, carefully, she repeated the day's lessons. Her determination was fueled by more than just job prospects. It was about showing herself and Lucy that challenges could be overcome, that learning had no age limit. As she prepared for bed, Emma reflected on the day. She was exhausted but felt a sense of accomplishment. The computer room, which had seemed so intimidating that morning, now represented a world of possibilities. Tomorrow would be another day of learning, another opportunity to grow, another chance to prove to herself that she was capable of more than she had ever imagined. Michael, the job training instructor, had noticed something special about Emma. While other participants breezed through computer lessons, he saw her genuine struggle and remarkable determination. Her eyes carried a mixture of vulnerability and fierce determination that reminded him of his own mother's journey years ago. During one particularly challenging session, Emma was struggling to understand a spreadsheet formula. Her frustration was evident, her hands trembling slightly as she tried to navigate the complex cells. Instead of moving on or letting her feel embarrassed, Michael approached her workspace. "Let me show you a simpler way," he said gently. He broke down the spreadsheet task into smaller, more manageable steps. Where other instructors might have rushed or criticized, Michael took time to understand Emma's learning style. Emma discovered she was a visual learner. Michael used colorful sticky notes, drew diagrams, and created practical examples that connected to her real-life experiences. Suddenly, complex computer concepts started making sense. Her confidence began to grow. Small victories became more frequent, creating her first professional email, formatting a document, and understanding basic internet research techniques. Each achievement felt like climbing a personal mountain. The other participants in the training program started noticing her transformation. Where she once sat quietly in the corner, Emma now asked questions, shared her experiences, and even helped other struggling participants. Lucy's encouragement continued to fuel her mother's journey. Every evening, the young girl would ask about Emma's day, listening intently to her mother's stories of learning and growth. Their bond seemed to strengthen with each passing week. Michael recognized that Emma's struggle wasn't just about computer skills. It was about rebuilding her self-confidence after years of feeling overlooked and undervalued. Her journey represented something more profound: the human capacity to reinvent oneself. One afternoon, Michael introduced a special project. Participants were asked to create a comprehensive digital portfolio showcasing their skills and personal stories. While others saw this as a simple assignment, Emma saw it as an opportunity to document her transformation. She began crafting her portfolio with meticulous care. Photographs of her factory workdays, Lucy's school drawings, and her job training certificates became a visual narrative of resilience. Her typing, once slow and uncertain, now flowed with increasing confidence. The other participants started seeing Emma differently. No longer the quiet woman struggling in the corner, she emerged as a symbol of perseverance. Her story inspired those who felt intimidated by technology or limited by their circumstances. Financial pressures remained constant. Emma knew this training was her lifeline, her chance to provide a stable future for Lucy. Every lesson, every skill learned felt like a step towards economic security. Michael's teaching approach went beyond technical skills. He understood that true learning involved emotional support, patience, and recognizing individual strengths. For Emma, this meant more than just computer training, it represented a pathway to personal transformation. Her portfolio began to take shape. Each digital page told a story of struggle, learning, and hope. Lucy helped her select photographs, offering creative suggestions that made the document uniquely personal. The community center became more than just a training space for Emma. It transformed into a platform of possibilities, a place where her potential could be explored and developed. As weeks passed, Emma's skills improved dramatically. Her typing speed increased, her understanding of digital tools became more sophisticated, and her confidence reached new heights. The trembling hands that once struggled to move a mouse now navigated complex software with growing ease. Lucy watched her mother's transformation with wonder. The little girl understood something profound was happening. Her mother was not just learning computers, she was rebuilding her life, one skill at a time. Michael observed Emma's progress with quiet satisfaction. He had seen many participants come through his program, but Emma's journey was special. Her determination, her willingness to learn, and her unwavering hope represented the true spirit of personal transformation. The turning point wasn't just about computer skills. It was about Emma rediscovering her own worth, challenging her self-imposed limitations, and showing Lucy that learning knows no age, no boundary. As another training session concluded, Emma looked at her reflection in the computer screen. The woman staring back was different, stronger, more confident, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. Her journey was just beginning, but the most important step had already been taken: believing in herself. Emma's transformation began to ripple through the calm. Unity Center. What started as a personal journey of learning became an inspiration for others struggling with similar challenges. Her newfound confidence radiated quietly, attracting attention from fellow participants who saw something special in her determination. During one training session, she noticed another participant, Thomas, an older gentleman who seemed overwhelmed by technology. Without hesitation, Emma approached him, offering the same patient guidance Michael had once shown her. "Let me help you," she said softly, demonstrating a computer technique with gentle hands. Thomas looked relieved, grateful for her kindness. Her ability to break down complex tasks into simple steps became her unexpected gift. The training program gradually revealed more than just computer skills. Emma discovered she had a natural talent for teaching and supporting others. Her life experiences, years of factory work, single motherhood, financial struggles, had given her a unique empathy that transcended technical learning. Lucy watched her mother's growth with increasing admiration. The little girl began telling her friends about her mom's incredible journey, proud of how her mother was transforming their lives. Emma's resilience became a living lesson for her daughter. Michael recognized Emma's potential beyond simple job training. He suggested she might consider becoming a teaching assistant or community support worker. The idea seemed impossible to Emma initially, but slowly, it took root in her imagination. Her digital portfolio became more than just a collection of skills. It transformed into a powerful narrative of personal growth, documenting her journey from factory worker to confident learner. Each page told a story of resilience, of a woman refusing to be defined by her circumstances. The other participants started seeking her advice. Where she once sat quietly in the corner, Emma now moved confidently around the computer room, helping others navigate challenges. Her hands, once trembling on the keyboard, now moved with purposeful skill. Financial pressures remained, but hope had replaced fear. Emma began applying for administrative positions, her newly developed skills opening doors previously closed to her. Her confidence grew with each application, each interview preparation. Thomas, the gentleman she had helped, became a close friend. He shared stories of his own struggles, creating a support network within the training program. Emma realized her journey was connecting her to a community of individuals fighting similar battles. Lucy's school performance improved alongside her mother's transformation. Seeing Emma's dedication sparked something in the young girl, an understanding that learning was a lifelong journey, that challenges could be overcome with patience and determination. Weekend practice sessions became family time. Emma and Lucy would sit together, working on computer skills, turning learning into a shared adventure. The old laptop became a bridge connecting their experiences, their hopes. Her portfolio caught the attention of local businesses. Small administrative roles began to open up, offering Emma opportunities she had never imagined. Each application felt like another step towards economic stability. The community center became more than a training space. It transformed into a symbol of hope, a place where personal transformations occurred daily. Emma's story began to inspire others, showing that age was not a barrier to learning. Michael watched her growth with quiet pride. He had seen many participants, but Emma's journey was special. Her transformation was not just about computer skills, but about rebuilding self-worth, challenging limitations. As months passed, Emma's skills continued to expand. She learned spreadsheet management, digital communication, and basic graphic design. Each new skill felt like a personal victory, a testament to her resilience. Her relationship with Lucy deepened. The young girl saw her mother not just as a parent, but as a role model of perseverance. Their conversations became richer, filled with discussions about learning, growth, and possibilities. The winter that had once seemed so cold and challenging now felt different. Emma's world had expanded, her perspective transformed. She was no longer just surviving, but actively creating a better future for herself and her daughter. Local businesses began to recognize her potential. Small job opportunities emerged, each one a stepping stone towards her larger goals. Emma approached each opportunity with the same patience and determination that had brought her this far. Her growth was not just professional, but deeply personal. She had discovered strengths she never knew existed, capabilities hidden beneath years of self-doubt and economic struggle. As another training session concluded, Emma looked around the room. She was no longer the hesitant woman who had first walked through those doors. She had become a beacon of hope, a living example of what determination could achieve. Her journey was far from over, but the most important transformation had already occurred. She believed in herself. 3 months after starting the job training program, Emma Wilson stood in a bright, modern office. Her new job as an administrative assistant at a local Manchester business represented more than just employment, it was a complete life transformation. The journey had been challenging. Countless applications, nerve-wracking interviews, and moments of self-doubt had tested her resolve. But today, she was here, employed, confident, and proud. Her fingers, once clumsy on the keyboard, now moved with practiced efficiency. Spreadsheets that had once seemed impossible were now routine tasks. Each mouse click represented her hard-earned skills, each document a testament to her determination. Lucy's reaction had been pure joy. When Emma shared the news, her 7-year-old daughter had jumped with excitement, hugging her tightly. "I knew you could do it, Mom," she had proclaimed, her eyes sparkling with pride. The office environment was different from her previous factory work. Here, technology was king, and Emma was no longer intimidated. Her colleagues respected her dedication, her willingness to learn, and her positive attitude. Michael from the community center had been right. Her life was about more than just finding a job. It was about rediscovering her own potential, challenging the limitations she had once believed defined her. Financial stability began to replace constant worry. For the first time in years, Emma could plan beyond the next week. Paying bills became less stressful, grocery shopping no longer felt like a strategic mission. Her colleagues were impressed by her rapid learning and positive attitude. Where some might have seen a late career learner, they saw a dedicated professional committed to growth. Emma's age became her strength, not a limitation. The small apartment she shared with Lucy began to feel different. Hope replaced the previous atmosphere of financial strain. Weekends were no longer about survival, but about planning and dreaming. Emma's journey inspired others in her community. Women facing similar challenges began asking her for advice. She became an unofficial mentor, sharing her story of transformation at the community center. Her digital skills continued to improve. What started as basic computer training had opened a world of possibilities. Online courses, professional networking, and continued learning became her new normal. Lucy's perspective changed too. Watching her mother's transformation taught the young girl powerful lessons about resilience, learning, and self-belief. Their relationship grew stronger, built on mutual respect and shared dreams. The job was more than just work. It represented freedom, independence, and personal growth. Emma no longer felt defined by her past struggles. She was writing a new chapter of her life, one keyboard click at a time. Local businesses began recognizing her potential. Additional training opportunities emerged, suggesting future career growth. Emma approached each new challenge with the same determination that had brought her this far. Her story spread through the community. At the community center, Michael used her journey as an inspiration for other participants. Emma became a living example of what persistence could achieve. Financial pressures that had once seemed overwhelming now felt manageable. Small luxuries, a new book for Lucy, a slightly better winter coat, became possible. Each purchase represented more than material comfort, it symbolized hope. The transformation wasn't just professional. Emma had rediscovered herself, her strengths, her potential, her worth. The trembling hands that once struggled with a mouse now confidently managed complex administrative tasks. Lucy's school report reflected the positive changes. Her mother's journey had inspired her own academic enthusiasm. The young girl saw education and learning as exciting opportunities, not burdens. As months passed, Emma's confidence continued to grow. She enrolled in additional online courses, expanding her skills beyond the initial job training. Learning had become a lifelong journey, not a one-time event. The Manchester business where she worked recognized her value. Discussions about potential promotions began, something Emma would have considered impossible just months earlier. Her story was a powerful reminder that it's never too late to change, to learn, to grow. Age, previous limitations, and past struggles did not define her future. Standing in her new office, looking out over the Manchester skyline, Emma realized her triumph was about more than a job. It was about reclaiming her life, showing her daughter that anything is possible with determination and hope. Lucy was right. She had done it. And this was just the beginning.